Last Sunday, we brought you a segment about two pieces of legislation that City Council will consider in the next year, this year. There are two different approaches of the subject of expanding the Jacksonville Human Rights Ordinance to protect members of the LGBT community. A week ago, we heard from Pastor Ken Atkins, who is against expanding the ordinance. But today, we are sitting down with Dan Merkan from the Equality Coalition of Florida, who supports the ordinance. Now, Dan, first tell me, why do you support the ordinance?
Well, the Jacksonville Coalition for Equality supports the ordinance because it's the right thing to do. Currently in Jacksonville, people can be discriminated against because they're gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender. We have nothing in our ordinance that protects people on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity and expression. And what we know is that people are being discriminated against, maybe not in mass numbers, but based on the studies that we've seen, discrimination happens. And this is something that our city can remedy simply by adding some words to our existing human rights ordinance.
Now, Ken last week said that he didn't think it was needed. What's your argument against that?
Well, the data says differently. We have studies locally from JCCI, UNF, and other places where they've asked people about, experiences they've had. And the LGBT community has definitely experienced discrimination. And personally, I've known at least a dozen people that have talked to me over time that have experienced discrimination in the areas of either housing or employment, or even, being asked to, not allowed access to a restaurant or a bar. So this stuff is real. It really happens. And so as a community, we need to set the standard and basically say that discrimination is not what we stand for. We want to stop that, and we want to make sure that if it does happen, that people have recourse.
That's what I was going to say. Right now, if something does happen, what can someone do if there's no ordinance in place?
Exactly. Well, that's exactly what the problem is. There is no recourse. So someone could be fired from a job, lose, a job paying $50,000 and have absolutely no recourse. And that's just really not fair or right. We wouldn't stand for that in other areas of discrimination, and we don't, because we don't allow discrimination based on race or religion or a number of other factors that are already protected in our existing human rights ordinance.
Now, I know we've all seen the billboards going down the road that's promoting the council members to vote yes to pass this ordinance and offering them money in a sense. I think we have video of it right here. You can see it. Talk about the billboards and the message behind it. I know some people say that it's wrong to have those billboards up, but what's your standpoint on that?
We as a coalition put out a statement basically denouncing that action. We don't really support, these folks from out of town coming in and trying to influence what happens here. The Coalition for Equality has been working on this issue pretty much nonstop since 2010. We think this is a local issue with local players, with local consequences. When LGBT people locally experience discrimination, that's really why we're here. And it's not about any of these other sideshows that might happen.
Right. Do you think it's going to pass?
I have strong confidence that the City Council will take the needed action, and I'm hoping that they will pass a bill that will protect people, on sexual orientation and gender identity expression. And I really think that we do have a better council likelihood that that will happen.
Would this ordinance perhaps change the way things were done at the courthouse, not allowing the marriages for straight or gay? Would that
wouldn't have any impact on that particular issue. The ordinance is limited to employment, housing, and public accommodation. And, the courthouse issue, since they're not allowing any ceremonies,
so
it's not considered, imbalanced.
Talk about how the community, we have a very big gay community here.
Yeah,
how do they feel, obviously feeling like they don't have an ordinance to protect them? What are they saying?
Well, I think for a lot of folks, there's some frustration in that, we're one of the largest cities in the United States that doesn't have these protections. And pretty much everyone has already done this. I moved here 17 years ago from a city that passed protections in 1993, Kansas City. It's not like these are difficult, it shouldn't be as difficult as it is, because we have hundreds and hundreds of cities that have already done it. We have 17 states that have done this. It's just really a pretty normal practice for big cities.
Well, thank you for coming on this morning, and we love your perspective. Obviously, last week we had a different view, so keeping it balanced here on the morning show, we appreciate it. City Council gets back to work on January 4th, which is the next date on their meeting. The plan they're considering calls for a ballot vote on the issue during the primary, which is next August. The other bill calls for a City Council vote on the amendment.